Hi everybody. Hiya Michael. Obviously in first as well. Sorry no Mark again today, but unfortunately he's waiting still on an air conditioning unit coming now. So hi George. Hi Jake. I mean he got what he ordered, but it wasn't fit for purpose. So hiya Jamie. Hiya jewellery and watches and Archie as well. I mean Jamie will know how to play this anyway, but hiya Trevor. Uh, yeah, Trevor. Sadly, no Marky tonight. Just myself. So I just thought, well, I'll find something different to do. Something I've been asked a little bit about. So gives us time to do something a little bit different. I'll just knock that off there. Right. Say hello to a few people first. Hiya, Lee. Can't I go, Jake? Well, I could have done, but I like to do that with Marky, and Mark's, got so much access in the game now, so not something that I would really know about. Ah, okay, Jamie. Well, as I say, I'm not really a master sort of. I can show you what I've learned along the way. It's mainly for people getting started. So, hiya, Sharon. How's it going? How you going as well? Yeah, I mean, it's like anything that you get into is where do you start? That's the main thing. And when you first load a game up, it's like, oh my days, what's all that carry on? And where do you even go from there? So, hiya, Hager. Yeah, it's certainly add a few people later on. I just want to go through a few of the basics for anyone who's got the game. Gives you a little bit of a start. Hiya, Krusty Carve as always. Smashing my 80. Yes, ooh. Off to Las Vegas, I like that. Yeah, absolutely. Here, Guitar. If you've got me on as a friend list, absolutely not a problem at all. If you got me through Steam and that. Hi, Chris and Justin. Well, obviously, everyone on here will be able to see where my mouse is my in-game name. So it kind of gives it all away. Hi, Oliver Churchill. Justin Nightingale. I mean, when you first start the game, that's what you'll be faced with anyway. This particular screen that I'm on at the moment, so that's why I'm on here. Hi, Oliver. Hi, Magwis, is that right? Off to battle shortly. I just want to show a few people who've going to get the game for the first time. Anyone who's already got the game and knows how to play, probably not any good to yourself at all. But yeah, Lee, and exactly this is what I want to try and break down a little bit for you rather than go too technical. Yeah, you can look when you're faced with it, you think, my days, I'm just going to step back, but I kind of just want to take you to how you'd start and where to go from there, and what to actually do. This is what me and Mark were faced with when we ever first tried, and you just didn't know what to do. You kind of felt your way around, but doing the wrong thing, if that makes any sense. Hiya, Richard. Hiya, Tyler. How do you upgrade to better play? I'll show you that, Vadin. I'll show you everything you need to know about doing that kind of thing and what to do. Right. The reason I've moved my camera to the top is you really, really need to be able to see as much of the screen as humanly possible, which is why I've put it on 1080p only, because the stretch screens put different parts on different screens and it's no good to you watching. I'd just be pointing at screens and it's no good to you at all. Honestly, you'll start exactly as I'm going to show you. Once you've made an account and log in, you will be first exactly where you are now. In fact, I'll just change your plane and you will be wherever you start. So some people are going to pick, wow, Ben. Oh, Ben, thanks very much for that. It's going to be an absolute massive help. So I'm sure if Marky's listening, he'll find a way to get in and say thank you very much as well. JSG, also Ben, I hope everything's good down under.
Oh yeah.
And there you go. I didn't cover it up. Thanks again, Ben. JSG. I find everything about this game as fun. It is. It's a very, very fun game. It's an awful lot for free, and I cannot stress that enough. It is free to play. You don't need to spend a penny. If you've just got a computer, just download it. It is completely free. What you will be, you're either going to pick a nation. On here you can start with US, Germany, Russia, Britain, Japan, Italy and France. The thing you're going to be faced with is which one do you start with? That's good, Ben. I'm really pleased about that. And hi, Gaz. No, he's just had to order something else. His Uncle Sean's helping him out, sort something out, and just try and get him on the way with that. I know, Margaret. Just got to take your time because it's more for people who just want to load in as well. Nobody tonight, Jamie. You can join in after when I'll probably be in and out of a few custom battles just to show people what I'm talking about in actual practice rather than just talking about it. Right, so when you get into, doesn't matter whether you pick USA, Germany, Russia, Britain, Japan, Italy or France, whether you're starting with army, helicopters, planes or even the naval side of it. I'll go to, most people are going to pick army or aviation, so I'll go to aviation. You will get what's called, I'll just add something on there. You will get something that's called just a reserve aeroplane. Everything else will be red and you'll have no access to it whatsoever. You will have 3 reserve vehicles, basically the basic of basic, just something to get you started. And you'll have, when you hover your mouse over them, you'll have this thing called choose a crew. So basically you're going to choose a crew and you will have so many of these slots to put them in. You will only have, I think, when you start 1, 2, 3, 4, I think, if I remember back. The rest you've got to buy the extra, but it's enough to get you started. So pick where you want to put your first plane. Right, and you can do the same with the other 3 that you've got, and I'll go ahead and stick them in. So you'll start to see what your first lineup would look like. This is only when your trouble begins, mind. I'm only joking. Alright, I'll just send that one away. It's so important that you can just see what you actually start with, Otherwise it is very, very complicated. Certainly not when you know how to do it. Right, so as you can see on my bottom here, I've got 3 of my reserve aircraft that you start with. Now then, in game you've got a few different things to, I'll get that in a minute, Jamie. You've got a few important things that you've got to really get your head round. You've got the in-game currency, which in this game it's represented by silver lion heads. That's very, very important. You've got the one next to it is called golden eagles, which is money that you convert your own money into something that you can use in the game. So for argument's sake, you'd take £10, you'd get it changed into these golden lion heads. So obviously you can see I've only got 2, so I've used what I had. Next to it you've got basically we call them just a light bulb, and these are research points which are very, very important, and again I'll work my way through that. And obviously the other one's a premium account, which you heard Mark talking about the other day, which basically things that you earn in game, putting a premium account on it doubles what you're going to earn. So again, very, very important. First thing that I would get anyone to do, if you're going to play the game and you're going to put a lot of hours into it, spend a bit of money, first thing to do, get yourself a premium account. And just other things you've got up there, which I won't go into too much at the moment. So you must remember, in-game currency, lion heads, your converted pounds, euros or whatever are represented in golden eagles, and the research points are light bulbs. How they picked that, I've no idea. Right, I'm going to just change country here because there's something I need you to know, and I can't show you unless I change to something that I don't physically have finished doing. Just bear with me while I change. Right. I'm just going to pick this one. Hello Nathan, how's it going? Yeah, this might help you Nathan as well. So again, it's something you can watch back. So I'm just taking my time, and I'm just going to find where to put this. It doesn't matter that I'm just showing naval at the moment. I'm just want to find an example that I can quite clearly show you. So any reserve thing that you start with, be it a plane, boat, tank, or ship or whatever like that, it doesn't matter. You've got one of these reserve things. When you come down and hover your mouse over it along the bottom where you've actually put it in what we call the slots, the crew slots, you will have this pop-up thing. Change vehicle, modifications, customization, test if you want to test sail, and crew. When you go into the modifications, which again is very important, you'll find on your particular vehicle that you've got, most of these won't be ticked. They'll all be greyed out, like this is greyed out now. That's something that I haven't yet researched, so I haven't unlocked it, so it means I can't use it on that particular boat, plane, tank, whatever. This is an example. It's the same for anything that you unlock in this game. Doesn't matter what it is, the same principle. And then you're playing the game to earn enough of these what's called research points, these represented in game by these blue light bulbs, where this one particular, to unlock that particular modification, is 450 light bulbs. Now obviously you've got to earn them light bulbs to be able to use them. If you haven't got any, you can't unlock it. So for this example I'm showing you, obviously on this I've already unlocked the toolbox, which helps you repair your ship when it's damaged, plane, tank, or whatever it is, doesn't matter. Fire protection system, which puts out, obviously as it says, fires, things like that. On this one I've got a rudder replacement. Obviously on a boat you're going to damage your rudder, you need to be able to put another one on. If you haven't researched that, you can't put it on. Likewise with the fire protection, you can't put the fire out. Likewise with the toolbox, you can't repair it. You can't repair your craft or your tank or whatever it is. Obviously you're going to die quicker. So very, very important to do these things. Yeah, hiya Hoffy and hiya everybody, hiya Sarah. I'm just trying to concentrate and keep me brain going in the right direction. As you know, I do struggle a little bit with that sort of thing, getting my point over, you know. So again, whatever you've got, first and foremost you've got to think, right, what am I going to need first on the particular chosen vehicle that you're going to put your work into. Now for argument's sake, if I started over here where it says dry dock, for a ship, it doesn't really matter. It's not going to be really important to me. First thing that's going to happen to me, I'm going to get shot at. I'm probably going to need to be repaired or put out my fire. So the way it works in the game, they work in like a tier system going down the way. And you can see in this one it's separated into seakeeping, unsinkability and firepower, and it works downwards. So anything at the bottom would be in red, and anything at the top that you've unlocked would be in blue with a tick on, as you can see here. And you can't go straight down and unlock something if you haven't unlocked what's above it. So you've got to work downwards in the little lines that you know, you can see what I mean. i.e. for dry docking, I've obviously had to unlock the rudder replacement before I could do the engine and what's below it, so I've already done some of that. So again, just think what you've got to do, whether it's a plane or a tank. Mostly you want to make sure you can put the fire out and repair it first, because that's going to keep you going in your battle or whatever you're doing. So that's a little bit look at that. When you've got it in game, it'll be a more, this will come back to you and you'll think, right, I see what you're on about. Likewise, once I I'm looking on here for something that I'm going to want to research next and unlock. So out of them, I'm looking at what I would need next. A smoke screen for a boat is very, very handy because you can hide. So that's my next thing that I'm going to unlock. So when I go to play this, and I'll take it out for you, and we'll see what we can do and where we can put our points. But we will come back to that. Now, hiya Glenn. Yeah, I know Glenn. It's hard. There's so much in it, and I'm just trying to think what is very important for you. And it's getting going and getting started. Because the first thing you're going to want to do is take whatever you've bought, whatever you've purchased out. So even if it's free, it's exactly the same. What I'm talking about, we haven't spent a single penny. So that's all you need to know. Right. On the screen that I've got here, I'm going to use again these boat ones as an example. It's the same if it's a plane, helicopter, tank, or whatever, it doesn't matter. Again, the working tier system's going down the way. You can see where you start with a reserve plane, tank, or whatever it is, and it's got a directional arrow showing you when you've finished researching your free craft, plane, or whatever or tank. You'll then go on to the next one that you're going to try and unlock. That will look something like this one, which is I can't even pronounce the name. As you can see, I'm in the middle of trying to unlock that one. So I need 6,176 light bulbs or research points before I can physically then purchase that craft. I've obviously done it with these ones prior to me talking about it, but you can see this one and that one there, I haven't done that yet. I had to choose which one to go and research next, i.e. type 5 boat or go to that one. I couldn't have just said randomly I want to pick anything down here. You can't. You've got to follow the way the arrows are telling you to go, and you've also got to follow a path that it leads you to. For example, if I look down the list of, say, whether it was aeroplanes or something like that, and I'll take you back to them, so just I'll jog your memory about them. If there was something in this list that I really wanted to unlock, I thought, I really love that boat, I want to get that. Like these are the cruisers and things like that. So you think, like the QMI, you think, I want to get down as far as that. You'll find it's no point going across and unlocking the one that I'm already doing, because it doesn't give you access to this side. So you've got to follow the direction of the arrows and basically carry on in that kind of direction. If you hover your mouse over the object that you're thinking of going after, it will tell you in red the previous vehicle must be researched, and by research they mean light bulbs research points, which I've shown you here, which I'm partway through researching. And again, quite clearly it shows you in the box in red writing, vehicle is in research, you need to finish the research before I can purchase it. So again, when I go into a battle with that, show you, and I'll show you what we do with the points and how that moves up. Right, hiya David, and again hi to everybody else. Oh, Ben's been playing Project Cars. Well, so happy if we can have you in there as well. Right, so again, what I'd done with that is I'd already looked ahead and thought, yeah, which way do I want to go with that kind of boat. I wasn't really bothered, to be honest. I'm just working my way through them. Now then, I haven't said all what I've just said to you. You can buy in the game something called a premium boat, plane, tank, or whatever it is, and they're represented on the right hand side of that particular window in this nice shiny gold colour. Now, I'll have to have a drink. Mouth's bone dry. These are very, very handy to have, because when you hover your mouse over that. Right down at the, I can't hover it and show you at the same time, but at the bottom of it, what it's showing you is what reward you can get for playing with that vehicle. Now, when you've got a premium vehicle, you're going to earn basically twice as much as what you would normally earn. Now, by you earning something, getting twice as many points per battle or whatever you do, obviously, from a research point, you're going to be able to unlock the things that you're trying to unlock much faster. So therefore, I think that was something, I can't remember what that kind of price that was, but they're very, very handy to have in your lineup, so you can take it out, know you're going to get a few more points a little bit quicker, thus it's going to aid your travel along here. But this is where your money comes in. So this is where you're disappearing from completely free over this side to you've spent a bit of money. So if you were in the game and I saw you with that particular boat, I know you've had to spend some money to get it, which quite frankly most of us do too. This is where I spend my pocket money, and I've made no bones about it. This is my bit like my model shop, you know, totally and 100%, unashamedly. Now, all the countries and all things that are represented, whether boats, planes or whatever, they will all have these premium vehicles. Very, very clever way for the company to make money. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know what you're getting into. You think, right, I need that. It's going to help me in my journey through the game. I'm going to enjoy playing with it. I'm going to enjoy owning it, that kind of carry on. So I'm going to go ahead and get it. Now on this one, when you go to what's called these modifications that I was showing you before, you will find in most cases all of that already unlocked for you. This one's a little bit different. It was a very cheap thing to buy, but there was a few things that were just left for you to unlock, but just very, very small things, you know. Fire protection tools, rudders, dry docking and all that was already done for you. So again, you're going to be able to use that. You're not going to get killed as hopefully as quick. You're going to earn a few more points, which again you're going to get down these ranks a lot faster, which is very, very important. I'll find an example for you in planes. This is just in American, so I'm just using again just finding an example for you. Right, this is just a typical plane that you'll get. Very, very cheap to buy. Again, unfortunately, you have to spend a little bit of your money, but it's very, very small. Again, something that's already completely researched for you. So, you know, that kind of things, you know, you can basically get on, earn some points with it, and not have a fortune spent either, you know, and just helps your way to get through them, because as you can see in this one, to get down to where I am, these are all into rank 4 now, some that I haven't unlocked, you know. There's all sorts, there's just so much in the game, you know, you name it, from a plane from way back when, or a ship or a tank, it's probably in here, and you can research it. Now most people with planes would have a country that they were very fond of, and I can't really, it's hard to give you an example without knowing what your particular interest. Someone might like USA, someone might have gone down the British route, someone might have gone down the German route. If it's USA and you've got a love affair with the fighters and things like that, when you first start out, you will start out with, I'll just make a preset up here, and I'll put in exactly what you'll start with. Just give you another example from a plane point of view. I wanted to find some things before that I hadn't fully unlocked, because very, very hard just to talk about it without giving you an absolute example. And again, something you can go back to and re-watch it and think, right, I see what you're talking about now. It's very hard without having the game open Normally I would tell anyone with an instruction book, you know, open the gate, whatever you're doing, and so you can cross-reference what you're looking at. Right, just get rid of that tank. But again, everything that I talk about, it's exactly the same, repeated over and over again. Right, so I've got these three reserve craft planes that you would get. Now, obviously they're at the top left hand corner of the page, the first thing that you can play, and the only way in this one you can go is follow the arrows downwards. You've no other choice. So as you've unlocked them, you will then start to be able to unlock all the ones across the top, and then likewise go down the page. If you decide that you like bombers, i.e. the famous B-17 or the B-25, you've got to be able to unlock all the way up to this TBD before you can go down. So straight away you're already looking and thinking, right, what am I really interested here? You know, what am I going to spend my time doing? You know, you're not going to just sort of start playing without having a direction to go in, because otherwise you're not going to have any kind of focus on what you're looking to get out of it. A lot of people like the fighters and things like that. Same with the tanks, you know, there's something that you'd probably want to be interested in and which direction you want to go. If you're not spending a penny on the game, it's probably going to take you an awful long time to get into these rank 2 stuff and below that. So most of us, as you can see, like myself, I've bought premium planes. You've got a premium account, so it all helps you along the way, gives you more research points, and you can get along quicker. That's the main thing about it. Yeah, Jamie, loving the US planes. There's the thing, Jamie, when you looked at the US planes, what were you interested in? Was there something on there, or did you just like them all? I didn't have a preference. I just started at the top and worked my way down once I realised what I needed to do on them all. Now, something interesting about most of the planes, tanks, boats you'll find. The modifications that I'm talking about, which is making your plane, you've unlocked everything in the actual plane. Oh, I've got a good example I can show you here actually. That's good, I found that. Right, this particular plane, this OS2U3, there's something different when you look at you've got to look at the thumbnail that I'm showing you there. One of them has got what looks like a club, a playing card club, spades, sorry, not a club, ace of spades in the corner of it, and the other one hasn't. So we know when you play that plane at the top, get out of the way, that one, everything in it's been researched, so I've played that plane enough to unlock everything in it. And as soon as you do that, you get this ace of spades in the corner, so most people will say to you, oh, have you spaded such and such? I never knew what they were talking about, hadn't a clue. I didn't really realise that it was an ace of spades until someone told me. So I felt so stupid. So when you finished researching it, that's what will appear. Now this one, as it happens, I haven't actually finished researching everything. I think the only thing that I haven't, can I do that one? No. I'm going to show you something here the way you can use your in-game golden eagles. This is your money that you've created, so you can use money in the game, which I've got 2 golden eagles left. This particular modification I can purchase for 2 golden eagles, so I'm going to buy it. And you get this come up. Once you've finished modifying all of your tank, boat, helicopter, whatever it is, you will get this, and it tells you you've researched all modifications for that particular plane, and the remaining light bulbs, 192, have been added to the next plane on the list. So when I come out of there now, you'll find that that's been spaded now as well. So you get a little bit of an idea what we're talking about. Now, where it's put them other two, them 192 light bulbs, they've been put onto this F4U-4. Now, I've got 19,098 light bulbs before I can physically purchase that. So that's quite a long way to go. So as you can see, Emma and Richard as well. Richard might find it interesting. So he's already gone through this process at the moment. So he's already picking, starting with the reserve stuff. And as we saw the other night when he joined in, he gets shot down really, really quickly by anything that's bigger than that, you know. Right, so I've got a long way to go on that, but it's a rank 3 plane, so it's quite a way down the list, you know. So you'll notice as you go down, one of the main things, everything costs more, takes longer to get, harder to unlock. Right, when I've finished researching that, if I suddenly had another 19,000 research points for that, I would get the opportunity to buy it. Now, by buying it, it doesn't mean by paying my money. We're then going to use the in-game money that you win for every battle, which is represented by the silver lion heads, of which I've got 382,656 at the moment. Now, as an example, I've left something here for you. There is a plane, an F8F, that I have already finished unlocking, i.e. that yellow bar, I managed to get it all the way to the other end, which then comes up with another box telling me, do you want to buy it? In this case, it would cost me 240,000 lion heads to buy it. Now, once you've bought it, you've got another problem. As you can see by me leaving that box up on screen, there's a price for it, and below the price there's a crew training price. So not only on that one I've got to find 240,000 lion heads to buy it, I've then got to be able to use it. Now, to put it into one of these slots down here that you've got to be able to occupy to be able to use your vehicle in a battle, you've got to train the crew to do so. And in this case, for that particular plane, it would be 68,000 lion heads for me to be able to put that plane in my lineup so that I could use it. So as you can see, that's straight away, that's what's my maths. Oh yeah, 308,000 lion heads just to be able to, after I've finished unlocking the plane and I've got enough lion heads to be able to buy it before I can even go and fly it for the first time. And when you take it out for the first time, it'll be completely unmodified. I'm trying to think of something that I might not have any modifications for, that I can just show you what a bare plane looks like. Ah, excellent. I've got one here for you. This one is something that I'd obviously only unlocked and purchased. So as you can see with this is exactly what you're going to be faced with when you open anything new. And this is a choice that you're going to have with, this is aeroplanes. Tanks will be slightly different, and I'll try and find one that I can show you that. So you're trying to think what's going to be useful for me in an aeroplane to take out to battle. The first thing by default is a fuselage repair, which can be very useful. I tend to go the other way. And I tend to go for armament first. So on this one, I wouldn't go for fuselage repair. I would change it to a bomb or some weaponry of some sort, because that's going to keep me alive longer, or possibly earn me more points. Bombs, you can blow things up, you get more points for blowing things up or shooting things down. So, you know, you've got to look at it in that way. And you can also see the way that I was telling you before, it goes down the way. So I can't pick a missile before I've unlocked what's above it, which is Mark 1 bomb, so on and so on and so on. So, and they all work in a very similar way. You know, if there was something down here like engine, it doesn't really matter at that particular moment. You know, you've research what's above it and work down, but I would go for the armaments first on that kind of thing as an example. Some way to spend your research points. You can see on there the research points aren't too bad for that particular thing. Now you'll notice it does give you another option. It gives you a purchase price for it as well in Golden Eagles, like I've just done. If you want to spend your own cash, convert it to Golden Eagles and just spend untold amounts of money on it, you can do that. If I had enough money sitting there, convert it into Golden Eagles and just decide I want to use that plane and I want it completely modified. Every modification I want, I'm going to buy. It's going to cost you quite a bit of money by the time you add it all up. So, but you can do it, and that's what some people choose to do. They might not have the time to research all the stuff, and that's the way they choose to go. I have done it in some cases when they've had an offer on, when they've reduced the price in some case, and I think, you know, I'm going to take that option, and I might find something that I can show you that. But again, from a premium point of view, there's so much to choose. That's just in the USA planes. You've got USA tanks, which is just the same. There's whatever you can think of, there's probably here. I've nearly got to the bottom. Any of you interested in the Abrams tank? I haven't unlocked that yet, so that's what that looks for me. I've got a bit to go, but you think the fighting vehicles have got a lot of new stuff being added. There's something here for you. Right. Enough talking about that. Right, now you can do another thing in them. Hi Renzo. Alright, what's hiya Tech Nail. Yeah, can you imagine if I've always thought, you know, imagine if it did it in iRacing or something like that, where you could actually modify your car and that kind of thing. No, still no, Mark, sorry. Hopefully tomorrow, hopefully a brand new air conditioning unit will be in tomorrow. Right. Excuse me. Something that you get every day when you log on to War Thunder is you get a battle trophy. A boost, like, it's like a, what do they call it? I can't, it's like a spinny thing, and wherever it stops, that's what you win, kind of thing. A roulette wheel or something like that? Something like that. Very, very similar. So for argument's sake, I've got a few already lined up here. Now for this one that I probably unlocked a couple of days ago, when I logged on, it's telling me that if I activate that now, it's going to last 1 day. It's got missions of 20, so it'll last 20 missions, and it'll add another 10% on every light bulb that I win in game. So I think brilliant. It's worth using it for free, so I'll activate it. Make sure you use them. The other ones, there's one there for lion heads. There's quite a big booster there for lion heads. my problem always, when I used them, I probably found I didn't last long. Daily rewards, thank you, Jamie. What's gaming headquarters on about? Right, okay, nothing to do with it. Now, so we've got that out of the way. Please use them, they're very, very important. So take them out and get them used. Right. I'm going to take this. You're going to be faced with your first plane, and I'm going to use planes at the moment, and I will take some tanks out. I just don't want to like dart around too much. It's the same principle for everything in the game. That's the good thing about it. Once you've got the feeling for it, you know, you'll think, right, it works the same. Doesn't matter what you go for, it's all the same. So it is, Oliver, and it's trying to break it down without like getting too like bogged down in the technical bits. I will probably do another one when I'm at Mark's and maybe just go a little bit further if I can. I'm just trying to think what you would do. That long ago since I started, it's hard to remember what I was faced with, you know. But it's these things that I can remember that I couldn't and I didn't know what to do with. It was just shocking. And at the moment, it'll all sound like complete mumbo jumbo. But please, when you get a chance and you get the game, rewind it and just go through it. Stop at the bits you think and think, right, now I know what you're talking about because I can physically see it. Again, Richard Thomas and anyone playing new has already been through this, so they'll know exactly what I mean. You end up doing the wrong thing. Right, you can take something out for a test flight if you want to. Doesn't matter what it is, even if it's a premium plane. You can take anything out. Sorry, I'm gonna reiterate that. Anything that isn't red, you can take out and test drive. For argument's sake, in my aviation, which I haven't quite fully done, I can't go and try the modern jets because I haven't unlocked enough to be able to use them. But there is a modern jet in the premium side, which I could, by right clicking on it, either preview it and think, oh, I like that, I might go and spend some money on that, but I'll come back to that. We'll go back to our little plane that we're going to test fly. But yeah, you can test fly absolutely anything that you've, like that F, the one that I'm working on at the moment. Yeah, I could test fly that if I wanted to. Just making sure what I was telling you was absolutely right. Right, so when you've got your little reserve things, please go for a test flight in it, because before you go into battle, it's better to get to know what you're going to be dealing with. I'll come back to ammunition in a minute. It's giving you a choice, no loadout or 2 small bombs. That's brilliant. I'll just use 2 small bombs to start with. Difficulty, I would suggest most people are going to start with is arcade. There is another difficulty called realistic battles, simulation battles and custom battles, but I'll come back to that. Let's not get too bad. Stick with the arcade. Don't want to do with fuel usage and all that yet. Not bothered about all that. I'll come back to some other things on them, and we'll go and get it out. The controls are very, very simple, especially for the planes. That's why I've opted for not a joystick. If you want to play with a joystick or any other kind of control, I can tell you, and Mark will tell you, you can map anything. There's a control wizard in the bottom left hand corner. Go through that. There's all sorts in it. I can't give you a specific. Mark probably would be better for that because he's had to have physically have done it to get his joystick to work, but he as he told you, it's very, very easy to do so. So again, you've just got the same W for forward in a tank or accelerate in an aeroplane. Accelerate to a certain speed and it will take off. On this one you can't put the landing gear up because it's fixed. You've got your mouse for, is that rudder? Elevator. Flaps and all that kind of carry on. See, I'm not very technical with planes. I can just get round in them. Whereas Mark's having to physically use his stick control, which is a lot harder. I don't know how he does it. You've got D and A for turning your plane. And obviously you can use your mouse. As Mark was saying, it's so much quicker to get around in an aeroplane. Right, you'll notice something in front of you is there's a green crosshair giving you an idea of basically where your shots are going to go. Left mouse button for firing, and obviously you can destroy something. You've got your right mouse button for zooming in. Right, let's go back for them. The other thing you'll get is this on the ground. You'll see like a sight mark, and that's for dropping bombs on. I was too close, so I'll go back round. So in the arcade mode, everything's very, very simple. It's to try and help you, and it's very, very easy to play. So you get your sight marking on the ground, it's your space bar to drop your bomb. And very easy to miss. Right, let's go back round. I was too close. Basically just before you get to your object, you know. These are just for practicing on, you know, it's just a practice ground. You can take any plane you want out and go and practice on whatever you want. I often do it. I'm not a very good on flying, you know. So many different... Oh, hang on a sec. We've got a marquee. Hey, Marky. Hello, matey.
Hello.
Hello, how's it going?
How are you doing?
Yeah, good.
Not bad.
What you on?
I was just on my desk for a sec, so I thought I'd give you a bell while you were...
Ah, yeah, definitely.
Or whatever you do.
Are you able to play like or not?
No, that new fan that I got's made it worse.
Ah, you were saying, I know, when I was talking to you, you said
So...
it's a bit...
I sent you a photo of the humidity, you know.
I know, I should have shown everyone it, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Absolutely insane.
Yeah, I've not had it that... Well, you know, I got it to 74 before I turned it off, but it's just getting worse and worse and worse.
Yeah. God. No, it's... you don't realise this game until you try and explain it. How much there is to it. There's so much, isn't there?
I know, you've been enjoying it though.
Oh yeah, definitely. You didn't have a massive ball ache trying to get your flight stick and all that to work. You did say the Wizard's very good, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah. If it's a fairly standard flight stick, yeah, even the Thrustmaster like £30 one is very simple to set up.
Yeah.
So it is very, very easy. Obviously computer wise you could pretty much run it on a potato, I think.
Yeah.
I've
just fell over. I wasn't paying attention when I was doing. I've just flipped it upside down. How on earth have I done that?
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh God. Let's get left to leave the aircraft. Are you going to be kicking around for a few minutes?
Yeah?
Have you got your chat open?
Yeah.
Just so I can go to the toilet.
I'm very quiet.
Are you? Can I turn you up on here?
Yeah, just turn the desktop volume up a bit.
Right, try that now.
Hello.
Is that coming through any better for Marky?
Yeah, that's better.
Is that alright?
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah, you can hear the plane now as well.
Oh, could you not hear it before? I mean,
Not really.
I didn't want to drown myself out because it was more to show people rather than show the actual stuff that's there.
Yeah,
you know?
This game doesn't really get out. You know, you don't really drown yourself out that much, you know.
No.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nepali. There's probably download links for War Thunder everywhere. Everything I go on seems to have a War Thunder advert.
Yeah, it's just on Steam.
Yeah, Mark's stuck in it. I'm just going to go to the loo, everyone, while Mark's going to chat to you.
You get yourself to the loo. So yeah, you can download it from the actual web store as well. So you can download it so it's not through Steam. But if you have Steam, I would highly recommend just downloading it through Steam. It's a lot easier to mess about with, in my opinion. But yeah, how's everyone else doing anyway? I hope you're all well. Sorry I've not been about, but I just kind of had enough, really. So I know obviously the UK has got a bit of a heat wave, but I haven't stopped streaming because of the heat wave. That's not the case. I've been dealing with stupid heat for the past like month and a half to 2 months. So it's even worse if you put another person in the room. It's terrible. So I just thought, right, I'm gonna take a couple of days off and try and get it sorted. So I ordered quite a big air cooler, which is one of these things that you add water to, and ice blocks and things like that, and then it blows that like a fridge really, and it blows that cool air around because obviously UK is quite expensive for AC units, you know. So ordered that, got that put in this morning. I had it running for about 2.5 hours, right? I had one computer on, which was just my desk, and that was it, and just me in the room. So I left the room, left it on for 3 hours while I was doing some housework. Come back, the room was sitting around about 35% more humidity than it was before. So I don't know if people know how humidity works, but you can have high humidity, less degrees of temperature, and it be just as hot. So yeah, so I was running around about 45% humidity before and about 36 degrees, and now with the new fan in, I'm running 72% humidity and 32 degrees. So I've lost 4 degrees, but I've gained 30% humidity, which is ridiculous. So yeah, it's really like it's like quite pressure based on your head, and that. It's hard to explain. It's hard to explain to people, but so I'd phoned. My uncle has phoned us today. And I'd obviously told him about he's been round and gamed on my rig with me and that as well, and he knows what it's like in here, and he offered to help me. So hopefully tomorrow morning the final thing will be here, and that should solve all my issues. Hopefully. So yeah, I just thought I can get that humidity down and get the temperature down because obviously my dad's coming for a week. So if I can't sort the temperature out, he won't be able to come because it's just too hot with 2 people, and it is just ridiculous. Glenn Jones was here the other day, and we were on about the 45 to 50% humidity and 46 degrees, so it's just ridiculous. So my uncle has offered to buy something for me, and obviously I'll just pay him back for it over the next few months. So which I'm very, very lucky to have that ability to do that. And I wasn't expecting it when I was on the phone to him, so he's bought a full-size AC unit for the room, so quite a decent one as well. So it's enough to cool a 40 square meter room. So mine's not 40 square meters. So obviously I will use it all the time. It's not something you would just use it in the hot weather because obviously the room produces so much bloody heat, which is the problem. So yeah, hopefully see a big difference. But yeah, with the humidity higher now, it's worse than it was yesterday.
Yeah.
So
Thanks
I've
for
got turned that fan off now, Dad, and got the window open. I'm on back down to sort of like 45% humidity.
Right, crikey me.
So that it produces a lot, and I think if the room wasn't producing humidity, then obviously it wouldn't be as bad. Like in your living room, you might not notice it as much.
I know.
In like an open plan place or something, but yeah, it's just unreal.
I know. It is weird,
So,
that though, isn't it?
yeah, I did. I found it, and as I say, when I phoned Sean today, I wasn't expecting him to offer that. Obviously, I've still got to pay him back, like, but
Yeah, but
still, I just couldn't. That's why I bought the one I bought because I just couldn't pay the extra 300-400 quid to get an AC unit, you know.
yeah. Exactly.
So I tried to get something I thought would work, but it hasn't. I mean, I'll probably keep it downstairs for George because it would do him the world of good to have a fan down there. But if not, I can always send it back.
Yeah.
So,
I know exactly what you mean, you know.
as I say, we're losing temperature outside now anyway, but it's still you still couldn't have gamed in it next week with the way it is.
No.
So
I know what you mean.
Ken,
I'm just yeah, let me know if you want to play for a bit anyway.
I can't.
Just still far
You-
too bad, yeah.
No, the heat's not bad at all. It's only 29, 30. It's really nowhere near as bad as it was, but it's just the friggin' humidity. Gives you a headache.
Right.
It's like someone's trying to penetrate through your forehead. It's what it feels like. Honestly, it's like think of my migraine head pressure. That's what it's like.
Really?
Yeah, it's really hard to explain if you haven't been in that sort of high humidity like place. It's awful. It is absolutely horrible. And obviously with a lot of humidity is no good for electrics either. To be
No,
fair, so
no, definitely not.
it's not normally this humid. That's completely my fault for leaving the fan on so much. But I just wanted to see if it would do any difference, and obviously now I know it's made it worse.
Absolutely.
So not bother. I'll let you crack on. But I'll definitely be on tomorrow night. I would say. Obviously, I've got a bit of housework and sorting out to do for my dad coming on Sunday. So I should be on tomorrow night. I would think. I'm not sure what we normally do on a Saturday. I can't remember, but
We have been doing not iRacing, race room. You know that not race room. Project cars.
yeah.
Yeah,
we do that tomorrow, and then I'll do 5M11 tomorrow. But I'm just gonna, I know a lot of effort to try and sort the issue, so I'd rather just wait now.
absolutely.
So there's no point in, even a bit of 5M I've been playing. I've been getting up every 5-6 minutes to go downstairs, really.
No,
So I can't even have a dog in here, because it's just too. He bloody he shakes his pants that hard.
Yeah.
So
it's hard for him, like, isn't it?
Can. But no, I'll be back to normal tomorrow, and then obviously next week's going to be a bit on and off. But there should be about the normal streams next week. But obviously my dad will be involved as well. So, and he gets to test out. I'm still waiting for feedback from your seat. They said they sent it, but it's not here yet. So.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, which is complicating things slightly.
Yeah.
So one of the reasons you're coming down is to sort that,
I know. So, like I'm saying, if it didn't turn up, then that's a.
Well, as I say, as long as I get confirmation back from them, if it turns up Tuesday, it doesn't bother me. We can still, you're here for the week, so I just need to know if it's actually coming this week or not.
Yeah.
So, again.
Yeah.
All right.
Got ya.
I enjoy, mate, and thanks again for stepping in. I appreciate it.
I just thought, because it's kind of one of them long-winded things, and it's thought I may as well just sit while it's quiet, and do that.
Yeah. No bother, mate. Have a good one.
Right on, matey.
Take care.
See you later, mate. Bye. Right, Jamie, quick question. Which button do you press to move out view in the cockpit? Moving view in the cockpit's pretty easy. You use the V key for getting your different views that you want. Obviously, when you're in the cockpit, you can use your mouse. This is where VR, for anyone who's a pilot, it must be awesome. Mark said it is, just looking around. I tried it with the hat, track hat as well, or, what's the other eye stuff you can use. But looking around, I mean, they're absolutely, the views are awesome. I'll get taken off again. Right, thankfully Mark came in and saved my bacon there. So Mark, obviously you'll have seen when Mark's played, Mark played from the cockpit view, so, which you can do, even with a mouse and keyboard. When you go to turn, it just looks, that makes you feel sick. So, I'm always playing on the outer view. If you've got another gunner, the other key you can use, Jamie, I don't know if you mean, is the C key, so you can just have a free look without moving your aircraft. So, that's where you get all your nice screenshots and that from. As you can see, two nice little bombs underneath. But, cockpit view, to be able to fight, Mark's been able to shoot people down in that view as well. So, I've got a lot of respect for people who can do that. He's fighting against people using like that view where you can see what's going on and you can react to things a lot quicker, so a lot easier. Hiya, Joe. When you use your mouse, I'm in the cockpit, that move, C, use the C key. That's what you want to do, give over, Neil. Hold C, so you can look around. Go and try that. Explain it. I don't know, I could really do with Richard Thomas or somebody like that to come and tell us how that works, because I've not played it. There is another view you can use on this, which is that zoomed in view, if you really want to get some head-on shooting, but it's very, very hard to, it's can do it. I think some people playing that all the time, and it just becomes a little bit second nature. So I would definitely go out and test fly around. And again, I can only give you a viewpoint from the keyboard player, keyboard and mouse. I will show you why I use keyboard and mouse. But again, it's a lot accurate for shooting. Well, it is when you hit something. Right, let's get out of there. We've had enough of that. Let's go and find a tank. Hey Joe, yeah, going good. You got that sorted, Jamie? Alright, let's get out of here. Yeah, Nathan, I don't know whether you've tried it yet, but I mean, X-Plane, I don't know whether that's like proper simulation based. I don't know if that's right or not. Right, I'm going to have a look at some tanks, because obviously, apart from planes, a lot of people just want to go and have a tank. Tanks are just the same. You'll get, well, in this case, you only get 2 reserve. Yeah, 2 reserve tanks, not 3. Anyone will recognise this one from any movies that you've watched. It's the old London vehicle. I think you can actually still use this one in the water as well. There is some amphibious vehicles in the game, so I think you can put this one in the river. I think I'd have to try it. And another little one. Obviously, because they're free, there's not much firepower to them. They're very, very lightly armoured, but again, it's free and it gets you going. And personally, they were better than the ones you get in World of Tanks. Hiya, Michael. Yeah, just the just weather orientated. Right, I'm going to go and do a little bit test firing with this one. Again, when you go test driving this one, you get a little bit of a same kind of thing you get to pick from. Just pick the absolutely standard one. You don't need to alter anything until you understand what you're changing. Right, whoever just sent me a friend request there, you're on my Steam now. Right. On the land vehicles, you've got a couple of different things on the screen. One's your little mini map. Red things on the map being things that you can kill, either the other team, or in this case, just things to practice on. And on the left hand side, you've got a small view of your vehicle. The number of people in it, in this case there's 6. 6 crewmen is very, very handy to have in a tank. You will lose your vehicle when you get down to 1 person, because obviously you can't operate your tank. If you've got 2 people left, it'll still fight in some case, some way, shape or fashion. You might not be able to fire everything, but you'll still be able to operate it. Right, hiya Dave. Yeah, I just want to give people a background, Renzo, so, you know, just hold your horses. If I go into something, it'll be just to try and show people what I'm talking about, rather than anything else. Just for anyone who's just going to download the game and they don't really know where to start. Right, the firing reticles in these are slightly different. Yeah, if you press your shift key, you get this zoomed in kind of key, and you can see it in the middle. The crosshair has turned green. In some cases, the crosshair, I can find one, might not be green and it might be red. Let me just go and demonstrate that. If it's green, it means the ammunition that you've got will penetrate that vehicle. You need to be able to penetrate the vehicle's armour to be able to do any serious damage to it. Ah, there's a point. There. One second. Very hard with these small vehicles. Go and find another one. I want to be able to show you, otherwise it doesn't make any sense. You will only be up against, when you first start in ground vehicles, you will only be up against vehicles of very, very similar you know, armament and things like that, you know. You do feel like you're outnumbered sometimes. Let's find there you go. That's gone red there, so it really basically means firing at that position. I'm not going to really do any damage to the tank. that's ricocheted. So it's very, very easy to know that if it's gone green, you know you're going to do some kind of damage. The shell is going to penetrate into the vehicle. What you then get is you get the action shot appearing of the damage that you've potentially done to the opposing vehicle. So it gives you a little bit of... So there you go, it gives you a little bit of a hit, and let's go and find another bit. Generally, the best tip I can give you on most vehicles, aiming round about the centre in from the side, without getting in too deep into where to hit them. But you've got to remember that a tank's full of ammunition. If you know where the ammunition is stored and your round will go through that armour, you will explode it, and we call that ammo racking. So quite clearly there, I kind of knew where to shoot it, and I knew it would explode the ammo, so therefore it blew straight up. So again, this is a free vehicle, and showing you that you can take another vehicle out that is of a higher rank than this one, just by knowing where to hit it. No, it'll never play it again. Also, oh, you mean, oh, banned from multiplayer, yeah. You might play the odd multiplayer. Right, a lot of people are going to notice this tank as a German Panther, which is very, 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 very popular. So if I was faced with this, I know by looking at that, I've got a red cross in the middle. I'm not going to be able to shoot through the gun mantlet. I know just from personal experience that ain't going to go through. So sitting shooting at it is a waste of time with that particular round that I've got. So you then got to try and focus where you can shoot through, and even in a very, very small vehicle. That Panther is two ranks higher than this one, this free vehicle, and if you know where to shoot it, again that's green there. I'm looking for the ammunition. And again, you're getting a little bit of display. It's just not enough to blow the to blow that ammunition up. I am hitting it. Just a bit demonstration point. Right, one more. You get the idea. Eventually, you will deal enough damage and you will be able to blow it up. I might be able to get through the turret actually. One thing to watch for on... Right. If you're aiming at vehicles, unlike aircraft, some of the vehicles, it's the shape of them, the shape of the armour. The armour might only be very, very thin, but if you put it at an angle, you make it thicker. So, by very nature of that, this frontal armour of this Panther is quite thick. If you stood it upright, my round would go through it, but on a slope like that, I can't. So I could just stand here all day shooting it and I'll get no damage at all. It will just bounce off. Probably, no, because it's green there, it's telling me in the game mechanics that I can actually get through with that, you know, kill the loader. It's just stuff you learn. Again, I'll show you that later on, where to shoot them at. There you go, eventually killed it. With a free tank. So, gives you an idea what you can do. Right, hiya John, how's it going, John? I'll just go up there and have a look. Very, very mobile, this free tank that you get, I've got to say. You'll notice very, very nice as well. This particular training area is based on Kursk, which is, as most people know if you're into tanks, was a scene of a very, very large tank battle between the Germans and the Russians. Another one of my favourite tanks, because I had one as a remote control tank, so I mean, that's one of the ones I sold to start buying my rig stuff. But again, much more heavily armoured. My little tank and its little gun will not go through it. Doesn't matter what I do. The people in that tank could sit there all day and have their tea. About the only thing you can do, and a lot of people forget to do, is shoot the gun. In your hit camera, if it would tell you if you've destroyed the gun. Now what that would mean is the next time that crew fire that gun, the gun will blow up. And they will have to repair it. There you go. So I've just broken the cannonball in my free little tank. Now that's pretty much rendered that tank useless until he repairs it. That's if he's got a repair kit, which goes back to my previous thing, your modifications. Along the bottom, I keep pointing at it, but I realise you can see along the bottom you've got 1, 2, 6, 0 and a little symbol of a man. The 1 and 2 are the shell types that I've got inside, which again, that's a completely another story. I'm going to bore you with all that today. Number 6 is the fire suppression, which I've obviously unlocked in this tank, and it's given you the indication that you can use it twice. So if I was on fire, press number 6, puts the fire out. I can do that twice. After that, the tank will burn till it blows up. 0 is for putting... it puts a symbol above your tank. If you've fallen over or you're stuck, it puts a symbol above your tank and lets your teammate know that he can come and attach a tow rope. I put a tow rope on it. I can't demonstrate it here because I haven't got a teammate, i.e. Mark can't be asked to come on. Johnny joking. But if I had a teammate here, we could play tug of war. But I can't, so I won't. But people forget that it's there. And the other one is the man. I've unlocked this extra crew. So it basically means if you have a crewman that's wounded, you can replace him by whatever key you've picked. Mine's equal sign. Press the equal sign, and got to wait a certain amount of time for the new crewman to arrive and get installed in the tank. But if I was down to 1 man in the tank, instead of the tank blowing up, it will automatically use that spare crewman if it's available. If you haven't research that modification, it won't work, so therefore your tank won't last as long, obviously. See, in this case, I've got 6 crewmen in that tank and a spare one, basically 7, which is epic. You might only get something like the bigger tanks, and that might only have five crewmen. So it's a really, really good little free tank, this the American one. Hi Darren, definitely. Yeah, definitely good. Hi, Dave as well. Right, so that's basically a little look at that. Oh, what's that over there? Ah, just another talking about. Another thing you get to use in this, I forget to show you, I'll go in the, come out the shade there, is you get a set of binoculars. Press your binocular key, which again, mine is B. And it gives you a longer view of the battlefield. So if you want to have a look around, you can have a bit closer look, see what you're fighting against, and see how you're going to tackle it, or see if something's hiding, depending on which game mode you've got. Some game modes you've got, you will not be able to see your enemy until you spot him yourself. It will have no marker on top of, near it, around it, or anything like that. When you look through the gun, it won't show you anything. I'm going to get you to remember this bit that I'm going to show you, that you can see through that. I'm going to come out of there. I'm going to change the game mode so you can see. Probably boring for a lot of people down, but like I say, I keep getting asked, and something you can't type to people. If you change the difficulty mode to realistic, I'll show you the difference. I'm going to get fighting with this. But you just can't tell people that, it's hard. Right, something you'll notice on here is when you look through the gun sight, now I've got absolutely no indication of where I've got a point. I can see me crosshair, But I can shoot at that Panther over there. I'm not going to hit it just because I've got the crosshair on it. I've got to work out how far from the target I am. You can see the numbers down the side from 4 to 24. That's obviously height in, I think in meters, I think it is. Yeah, 400, 800, 1200 meters. So if you knew how far away that was, you could pretty much range it yourself. But you end up being able to pretty much get an idea because you've played a lot and you think, nah, that could be about 400, 500 yards, and you've basically got to try and have a guess at it. But it makes it a lot harder. You've got to be able to do it very, very quickly because people who are better than you, they'll have you dead. You also find that the tank moves slower. The ground conditions have more of effect on it. So it has a more realistic movement to it. Same with the aircraft. You can't be harsh with the aircraft. You've basically got to fly properly. So, but yeah, things like that move slower. But it's the same for everyone. You know, you get kind of to know what to do with it. I'm going to the game mode now, which is a bit different again. Yeah, Jamie, you're absolutely right. Hiya, Ben H. Right, we'll go on the same one again. It's easy giving you an example because talking about it just means absolutely diddly squat. Right, there's simulator battle mode. I can't show you simulator plane. Well, I don't even think I'd get the plane off the ground, but it's probably more what Mark would be into. Right, in simulator mode, you've got two views. You've got the gunner view, the commander view and the driver view, which I mustn't have a button for. I'll go and have a look. I possibly haven't. Let me go and find out. Camera control, binoculars, stabilizer, zoom camera, or driver, you. Ah, I have got it. Right, that's in my driver view, and as you can see, just a little slit to watch out of. So obviously while I'm driving the tank, I can't shoot it. So it doesn't work. I can click my mouse as much as I want. So I've got to go from that to my gunner view and have a look through the battlefield. That's when your binoculars and things like that come in very handy, because you're going to need to be able to see what to shoot at, because you ain't going to see it on the battlefield. The other big difference is also you need to know what tanks are on your team, because there's nothing to tell you. You've got to physically know if it's Americans and say British fighting against the Germans and Russians. You need to be able to identify them tanks, otherwise you'll shoot your teammate. I've done it. Been called all sorts. So again, the view you get from that's your sort of gunner view. And again, that's looking through the gunner point, which is, I can't even show you on here because with it being in that simulator mode, but the gunner in the tank looks through just to the left hand side of the actual gun. He doesn't look down the gun barrel. So when you look in the gunner view, you can just see the tip of the gun there on the right. So again, you've got to kind of like take that into account when you're shooting. So again, it just makes that a little bit harder. Just trying to just trying to get your shots. It's a lot more fun to play. It takes a lot more time, and finding people on the battlefield again. You know, that's your view to look around. I can still drive like that, you know, but the driver view is awesome. The sound in it is awesome. I can imagine in VR it's probably even. I got Mark to do this in VR, blow a tank up. So there's a little view at some of the modes you get. Right, in simulator mode, my plane's just. Yeah, I mean, there'll be something that you haven't got set right. I'll try and demonstrate that. I don't think I can. Change that to simulator. I don't think I've got anything set to be able to even take off. This is where for the flight sim guys, this is where it really would come into their own. You can only start off in this view. You can't change the view at all. I don't think. Oh, that's a new view. I just said you can't change the view, and I just have. Now, can I start it? Ah, there's no start button. So, yeah, I've got nothing mapped for that at all. So, yeah, you'd need to be able to start it. I think some cases you need a button to be able to shut the cockpit as well. And then when you get into the jets and all that, even way more above my pay grade. Yeah, I've no idea no idea how to start it, I'm afraid. It's a mode I never play, but it's there, and some of the simulator lads will be wetting themselves laughing because they'll already know what to do. But you can make it as hard or as easy as you like. Right, let's go and play a little bit of arcade air battle. So just to recap, when we play a match, we're going to get rewarded in a few ways. We're going to earn silver lion heads, which is in-game currency, so that I can buy things like planes or modifications, and these light bulbs, which I've activated a reward, which will give me 10% on any that I managed to get. I have got a lot more planes that I could add to my lineup along here, because I've got loads of space, but I'm just sticking with the 3 that you would get when you start. And hopefully we'll get straight in. Hi, Jezza. Just thought I could have invited Jamie. If you've got, if you had any, I'll just cancel it. Jamie, if you've got 3 reserve planes, you can come if you want. You can come and play, just as an example. But nothing higher than that. You know, and just 3 of them. So let me know. Actually, I don't know if you know if you're online, are you? No, he's not online. So, hi, Road Rally. How's it going, buddy? Yeah, pick another overheating PC. I know. I'm very lucky where I am. It's a lot cooler today, I've got to say. So, very lucky that way. When you're loading into battle, I should have shown you what I did before. Chose air battle, and at the top here, cancel that actually. Use your drop down menu. So I'm in the air, so you're on this side. Naval's on the right hand side, and tanks in the middle. So I want air arcade battles, not the realistic and not the simulation. Pick the mode you want to use, and again, when you first start, you're going to be playing arcade, I would say, and then click your battle button. It gives you a waiting time, how many waiting for battle, 22. It gives you a battle rating, which I will probably not go into today, I don't think. Your fans have blown. No, there'll be a fair amount of people with overheating. Right. Right, what map we want? It's Ground Strike, Saipan. We've got. As you can see, out the available slots I could have had. You know, I've only got 3 planes, which is the ones you start off with. So, just going to change my. I will explain a little bit more about the ammo. Now you can see on the map, there's a certain amount of stuff flashing red, which are targets for us. Some will be pillboxes, which obviously my small bombs won't go through. Some will be anti-aircraft guns, and there might be some medium tanks, etc, etc. And obviously all the red in the sky are all players, just like me. All people trying to, might be playing the game for the first time. They might be like me, where you've played a lot and you're just having a bit of fun. So, right, I'm going to try and go down and get this anti-aircraft gun. you can chase after the planes as much as you want, but really you want targets. I'm not going to waste my bomb on an anti-aircraft emplacement because I can shoot it with my bullets. One thing you do get in this is you can see there's like a white circle that goes in front of the plane, and that's a bit of a lead marker for your gunner. So basically you're more or less shooting at that circle so that your bullets will hit the plane, hopefully. In a realistic battle, you don't get that. You've got to work that out for yourself. I should really have got rid of my bombs because I'm getting picked on, and I'm trying to pick a plane that is... Oh! That was my own teammate running into me, rather than leaving me alone. So I didn't achieve much with that one. I did get drawn into trying to shoot someone down, which I really wanted to stick to trying to blow things up. Right, he is Road Rally, absolutely. He's, as Emma would say, he is a massive girl. Yeah, so as I say, you've got to look for that lead circle, which gives you an indicator for at least where to shoot. Without it, you'd have to try and calculate how far away he is and where I've got to shoot to make contact. And again, for Mark using the way he's doing it, very, very difficult. You'll have seen when he's been playing. Right, I'm going to go and find some targets. Ooh. That's possibly a... Yeah, I saw the bomber and I thought, yeah, I've got to try and get the bomber down because, as you saw, he's just cleaned up. Come on. I haven't got enough weaponry for that. Very, very small caliber guns on here, so they're not really... But taking the bombers down, best way. Bottom left hand corner, you've got a damage indicator for your plane. Beneath that, you've got a count of how many objects we've got left to get rid of before the game would end. So we've got... Oh, I saw him too late. I was looking at the... We've got 24 ground vehicles to get rid of. They've only got 14, so... they're getting much closer to winning. But some matches don't last very long, some are longer than others. Alright. Let's go and see if I can stop him. At least I hit him. Go and try and find something to hit on the ground. So the idea is to get the ground targets, not the air targets. The air targets are there to stop you getting the ground targets, basically. But you just can't resist the dogfight. Right, there's a pillbox here, so I'm going to use my bomb and try and get. So, got something. So at least I hit two things. You really want to hit as much and do as much damage as you can before you lose your vehicle that you're in, be it tank, plane or whatever. That was as quick as it was for me. So I didn't do tremendously well, just for showing you. If you've got a few more planes, you can carry on till you've used all of your planes, obviously. Road Rally, the temp when I was sat in the rig was 48. Oh, wow. I know, I kind of I wouldn't be able to... Oh, I've got a got a backup on that. I'll not bother taking that's going to be a waste because it's so close to being over. I'll go spectate. I want to show you the points that you get at the end. See what we can follow next. Some lovely planes, I've got to say, whatever country you decide to go with. Some fantastic players though. I think like in any game that you play, you know, it's go from a complete noob to someone who's very good at it. Oh, nice Stuka. Oh, listen to this. They've actually been fitted with the siren that makes the whaler noise as they dive. It might stay alive long enough for you to hear it. So already in the chat, people getting really, you know, insulting towards people, and it's just a game. It makes no sense at all. Right, so for argument's sake, that's your first game that you've ever played. You already, it shows you in your light bulbs and lion heads. So I'd won 1,277 lion heads and 946 light bulbs. So whatever I was researching, i.e. that plane before, that research points come off that plane. So I'm a little bit further along. It makes the biggest difference depending on what you're researching. If you're researching a higher tier thing, you wouldn't be playing like I'm playing in a very, very reserved plane because you get very little reward for it. But if I'm trying to unlock my next aeroplane, for argument's sake, the one I've got my mouse round, that won't cost very much to unlock, and you'll be able to do that very, very quickly. It's like when Richard was playing the other night, you know, I was hoping that he'd already worked that out. And, you know, you do a few matches, one after the other, and it would soon add up. Right, there's a quick one in a plane. I'll do a quick one in a tank bottle. In the, not naval. Got to show you naval as well, yeah. I will show you that. I quite like the naval stuff for a bit of a change. Right, tanks, we've got... Yeah, we'll go exactly what you would get when you start with the tanks as well. Right. Hey, classic restorer. Yeah. I've got so much respect. I'm very, very lucky with my job to be able to speak to numerous pilots, tankers, ground people, and all sorts of story. I would stay longer than I should at a job. I'd so much time for people from the forces, etc. Yeah, learned an awful lot. You might be having a really bad day, you hear some of the stories and you come out and you just think, you know, it's a good day to be alive. It really, really was. Some unbelievable stuff. I was fascinated in a strange way because obviously it was a terrible thing, but just couldn't really believe what these people had been through. Hi, James. No, sadly not. He's hoping that the aircon unit will do the job tomorrow. So, again, waiting for battle. We've got 25. Again, we've got a battle rating, which I'll maybe do another day, explain what that is, because that's a whole different ball game. You don't have to worry about that when you first start. You just select your vehicles, put them in a slot where I've shown you, and click go, and and go and slug it out. It's on the tanks. It's slightly different what you're supposed to be doing, and of course, again, I had no clue when we started, me and Mark. So Mark had feel laugh because I've told everyone he had fixed in his mind. He looked down the German lineup and found the Tiger tank. He had one himself as a remote control one, a smaller and a larger one. Something you just think, just gonna have one of them, like, you know. So you think, you see it and you think, right, I'm going after it. And he spent possibly a week, bought a little bit of premium time, and set to. Played a lot longer than I did, and eventually unlocked this tank. And so he would buy it, put it into the battle, got into a battle a lot higher ranked than what he was used to, and obviously someone hit him with one shot and blew his tank up. Well, it's a bit like throwing your dummy out. You just can't believe it. You've worked so long and so hard to get this thing, and someone just blew you up with one shot. It's hard to get over. Where the mode we were playing in the other day, custom battles, it's very, very good to get used to things like that, because you know, you can just carry on playing and playing. And again, I will show you that after. I just want to show you the actual game modes that are going to advance your game. You know, that's what you're going to have to play to earn points to unlock things in the game. And again, completely free. I might be able to show you being in the river in the sea with this one as well. Amphibious. It's a nice map, this jungle map. Right, again, I've put a very, 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 very cheap premium tank in there as well, should I need it. Right, so when you first get out in the battlefield, you know, you'll be looking around thinking, what on earth, where do I go? Well, on the little mini map you've got A, B and C. They are points to capture. So basically, get to B as quick as you can. It's the closest one. Not only do you get more points for doing so, which is something I didn't know about when I first started, and I could have been making so many more points than I did. I nearly forgot about it then as well. As you can see, the rest of my team will be making a quick go for it. I'll just say sorry to him. So right, we're in the process now. It's telling you of capturing the B point. Our blue team have already gone over and captured the A point, and the red team have gone and captured the C point. So on the map you can already see some red markers, which are the enemy team. One of which we've just sighted going down that left hand side there. So don't expose too much of your vehicle when you get started. You know, when you're just having a look around, try and think where can you be seen from, that kind of thing. Don't go rushing in all gung-ho, because 9 out of 10 times, see someone from over there, potentially, yeah, if he can see you, he can shoot you. These smoke grenades are brilliant. So someone's got a smoke canister fitted to the tank and he's used it, so. Right, so that'll be quite quick there. Try and protect the side of your tank is always good advice, because it's the weakest part, as I wanted to show you in the testing range. So try and keep in mind of what's around you. Alright, I'm trying to support my teammate here. He's green on the map, so if that was Mark, that would he would be green. So he's went one way around the rock, and I was going to try and support him this side, so he's already killed him. So we've pushed down that side of the map to try and get towards their C point. So that's pretty bad, really, for their team. They've taken over the A point again, so that's good. But again, from a complete new point of perspective, you're already getting a lot more points than just sitting hiding behind the rocks. Now what you can do in this, depending on how many points you earn during the match, you will get the chance to fly a plane. They're just random. the moment it's greyed out on the bottom of my dashboard there, 7 and 8 and 9. So I always have like a quick key or button for something like that. So if it comes up, I can select it. Right, we've stopped capturing that point, which means one of their teammates is... Don't shoot me. Well, it's the same reserve tank, you see, so I'll quickly get him in the side if I can. He's got a lot of crew people in here, so it's very, very difficult to kill them all in one go. Right, I've got on the screen now something like you can see as an F key, which is telling me I need to be repaired. Because I've got a toolkit, I can press the F key and it will repair my tank. On screen it'll be telling me how long that's going to take before I can get repaired, which at the moment is 8 seconds. I can take out a fighter. Someone beat me to it. And I'm down to 2 crew, but I can use my spare crew as well while I'm trying to defend myself. Right, I'm in a bit of trouble. Can't really fight him off anymore until I get my extra crewman, which is just going to get fitted now. That was an artillery strike, so it is, Jamie. Yeah, the waiting time is it is different times of the day. Now, a good tip that we all fall upon is we take too much ammunition into a battle. At the moment, I've got my tank full of ammunition. Where if I get hit, there's more chance that's going to blow up. So, something that you will want to take into account. Now, this is the little scout, more or less an little armoured tank, very quick, can get around, very, very lightly armoured. Right, I've just pressed my number 7 key, and I can go up in a fighter now. So I'm going to park my tank up and let's go. It's one of the reasons I like this game mode is because you get a chance to do both ground vehicles and aircraft. So not only will I earn some points towards aircraft. Right, let's try and get him. And even if I just hit him like that, if he just ditches his plane into the ground like most people do, I'll get credited with killing him. If I don't shoot him down beforehand. Trying to protect me bomber. The reason you get fighters because you get a bomber at the same time, so you'll have one of your teammates out in a bomber, one of you in a fighter, and you try to keep that bomber protected. And you get about, I don't know how long it is you get in them. Jamie might tell me, I can't actually remember. You only get so long to do as much damage as you can. Oh, critical hit on him. As you can see, with the reticle being green in the middle, it means I can actually penetrate that tank, which I did. Just fortunate he drove into the right place. I can take a number 8 out, which is like a strike aircraft it'll give me. So it'll be something with a bit more power. Hello, Jamie and Oz Farmer. No, Jake, no Owen. So, sadly, not tonight, buddy. Right, I'm going to try and protect someone. So when you've got a few teammates playing, it is quite a good game to play amongst what you have 4 teammates on at once. Right, so we've managed to get rid of him. I've got 27 seconds to go and find something to drop my bombs on. So, quick look on the battlefield, and I can see where the A point is. There's quite a lot of action, so I really, really want to go and try and get these. Put the flaps back up. Something firing at me. No, I'm not going to get there. Right, did help a bomber out though, so I wasn't too bothered. The other thing you'll see now, I've got a number 5 on my tray at the bottom, and that's an artillery strike. So you press your number 5 key, brings up an aerial view of your map with the red markers and this green marker, which is where I want to artillery bombard. So I've clicked on it. I've got another one as well. And another one. So I've been given a few because I've been quite active in the battle and got quite a few points. Now, I got destroyed before from an artillery strike, so they are worthwhile having. I'm going to try now and make it to A. I also shelled around the A point as well. So the effects, the sound effects on that are brilliant. You know, especially with the headphones. I don't know whether it comes across as much. So I'm dashing to try and get into the A point. Now their team are already starting to capture B. So at the moment I got here, they controlled 3 out of 3 points. If I stay here long enough now, this is a player's tank, and the reason it's still on the battlefield is because he's got nothing else to spawn into, so it just stays. I can hear a bomb coming down, so someone's dropping something. I don't know where it's going to land. Come on. So put the front of your vehicle, which is generally the most heavily armoured piece. Try and slant it a little bit. Angle your tank so you're not facing it. So if it fires at you, say it's going to go around the other side. But I've captured the A point, so I'm not really too bothered, to be fair. If you're thinking of going round the corner and attacking the person who's round the corner, try and wait at least till he's fired. That's if you know what kind of tank it is. Oh, I was just going to say, where did I get hit from? Right, I've got an artillery strike, so I'm going to drop it on myself, which you may say is suicidal, but my last dying, my death-defying thing there was calling artillery on myself, which actually, in fact, was on them as well, so. Right, you on the European side? Gaming, I'm just in the arcade mode at the moment, mate, which obviously mixes all the stuff up. Just trying to show people from the basic opening the game to going into your first so, you know, I fairly I lost something a bit early on, like, but I was just trying to show you what to actually achieve and what kind of points you would expect to get. I wish I could tell you what that would actually buy. Right. That's shown at the top here. Place in the team was 4th out of how many it was, I don't know. In total, I earned 5,000 lion heads, which doesn't seem much when you're looking at the other end of the scale, but at this end, it's a lot. You can purchase tank very little. You can research them for very little as well. So you might find 1,800 lion heads. Light bulbs may well actually being able to research a tank. So, you know, it doesn't say much, but it can be. This gives you all the awards you've earned, things that you managed to do, teamwork. Adamant is, you know, managed to stay alive under attack, that kind of thing. Just varies on and on and on. They tell you what they're for. And down this side, now it gives you the current vehicle that I'm researching, which is an M3 Bradley, which obviously, as you can see, I've got 245,000 light bulbs to go. So if I was playing in this mode, a long time. And that's having a good battle. The next thing it shows you, the researching in progress. Right, so on the particular landcraft that I was using to start with, it's showing you that I've fully researched an artillery strike, and I will go and show you what that looks like. I'll not go into the mark of distinction, there's no real point. So as soon as you finish a battle, if you've managed to achieve anything or unlock anything, it will show you in this bit, which is your modification window. And as you can see, the thing I was researching, I've managed to do it. I can purchase it for 30 lion heads, and as I was saying, it's very, very cheap, but you don't get a lot, so it's all horses for courses, if it makes any sense. So the next thing that I want to get is the adjustment of fire, which when you're firing a tank, if you're firing a long way, the gunner is not going to be very accurate. It's not very well trained, and sights, etc, etc. So this gives you, if you unlock it, a better chance of hitting something a long way away when you aim at it, rather than your shot falling far and wide. So I earned plenty of lion heads out of that match to be able to do that, and I've only got the engine to go. I had 60 something light bulbs left over, so I've put them towards my engine. So if I carried on fighting, maybe it's the next battle, I would have that done. So hopefully, see with that, you can get through quite quickly, you know. The other thing I did use, because I used a premium tank, I think I had probably earned my most points in it, which is probably why I earned a little bit more on the lion heads and a little bit more on the light bulbs. So just give you a little bit. Right, we'll go and have a look at the boat now. Hi, Ryan. Right. I'll read that, Jamie. I remember when my cousin told me about the game. Had no clue. Yeah. Crashed into cousin. Yeah. I know it is, Jamie. Exactly what I said with Mark. We both didn't know what to do at all. You can decorate your vehicle and things like that as well, but again, I'm not going to go into that. So again, with this booster that I was using, 10% on whatever I earned, at this end of the scale, you know, as you can see, it can be a lot. It can be worth a lot to you. They're worth using. Don't let them sit there and don't do anything with them. Right. Fleet. Alright, I'll just add these in. So if you wanted to start your career in I'm just trying to think the best way to do it. In the Navy, right? So Captain Armstrong here is going to now go into the Navy. I'm just checking on that. There's only one research boat you get, which is a Higgins torpedo boat. You can also no, I don't need planes for that one, I don't think, no. Right, so I've put that in my lineup. Change that to Navy. Yeah, Simon, you can imagine I was sat for a long time, many days, trying to work out what's the best way to start to try and show you, because I've already started the game and you're so long, it's hard to remember what I thought when I first got it. So I've tried my best to think how to go back to basics to show you what I would say you need to know, and that I wished I knew back in the day, in the best way that I think I can get it across. I can take things better if people show me, so try to like chat about it while I've shown you, and hopefully that'll work. Right, boats you get basically the same as anything else. You're going to have to clicked on the wrong thing. You're going to have these modifications to unlock. In the reserved craft, some of them will already be ticked for you. You'll have a toolbox and you'll have fire. So if you get set on fire, you can put the fire out basically. I think that's all I need to know on that. I'll tell you what, I'll put that one on just so my battle might last a little bit longer. I'll put a premium one on just in case you've decided to buy a premium. Hiya Simulation, how's everything going? How's Kel and the Bairns? Oh, you've just been streaming, have you? Or have you just finished work? Anyone who's, I mean, when I first started this, there was no Neverland at all, so it's amazing to think how much they've put into this game along the way. Right. I was right, you can use your planes in this, but as you can see when you look at the board, I can pick my... I was right as well, yeah. If you have only got one craft, which is your reserve one, they give you 3 of them. You can use the same one 3 times, because obviously it's all you've got. And I couldn't remember that until I started the game, because it's that long since I've been back that way. You can also use your planes as well, but you need to earn an amount of points to be able to fly out in it. So in this one I'd have to earn 650 points before I can take a plane out. So you see the blue markers on the map, you'll start from one of them, and you've got an A and a B point, and you've also got a blue crisscross point and a red crisscross point. They don't get unlocked until one team has got both A and B, and then one of the respective points would be unlocked and that would turn into C, and then you go and capture that. Now on this one I've got not only machine guns on the front, they're only light machine guns, nothing fancy, and I've got 2 torpedoes. Now you press your Q key, which puts a torpedo lead indicator, so basically you can see where it's green, that's where the torpedo would go. Seeing the distance by using just your normal keys, same keys as you use in the aeroplanes and the tanks. Same mouse key to fire. Small machine guns won't do a lot of damage if it's a bigger ship. They'll just bounce off it. But you've got torpedoes, so I'm just going to fire into the unknown. So just send 2 torpedoes. You can see the little markers in the. There's my torpedoes over here. But just like in the tank battle, you try and go and capture the capture points, which give you the biggest point gain for your team as well. So that's the objective. Now I can't use torpedoes again until they've reloaded, and you can see it's greyed out at the moment, but it's nearly 3/4 of the way regenerated, so I will be able to use them again shortly. Also on this I've unlocked smoke. So if I wanted to stay here going in circles and press my smoke discharger, which is my G key, so that'll press smoke. So if I was capturing this and I wanted to stay hidden, get the smoke out, do a few circles, do a few donuts, and hopefully not get hit. Really effective though, I don't know how to do it. The water effects, absolutely stunning. So, alright, my teammate wants a bit of help. Just wait till that wears off. Now I have got artillery, which I have unlocked on this one, so I can use it. So I will go and head towards where I can use it. Oh, he came out the balloon there. I got caught napping. So he's a lot more heavily armoured boat than I was. That's as quick as really you'd probably find that you'd get wasted. Right, so he's headed off to here, so I'm going to head off that way. Fire 2 torpedoes in that way. Yeah, if they're a heavily armoured torpedo boat, you don't stand a lot of chance, so you may as well try and keep out the way a little bit. It's pointless going head on with them because they will just blow you up. Got my artillery strike, which I will put on him, hopefully. Right, what's over there? Don't get any larger ships at this bottom end, so when you first start the game, you will just get pretty basic stuff. It's still well fun to play, like. Again, learning to shoot while you're moving, because obviously what you're shooting at. But that's just practice, to be fair. Not really a lot I can tell you about that. Aiming at the planes, you'll see there's a lead indicator in front of the plane, so it gives you an idea where to aim at. Now there's a lot of ships up there, so I don't really want to go up that there. Some torpedoes away. Right, I've been well hit by whatever just hit me. So I've got a 6 on the screen there. I needed my fire extinguisher, and also needed my repair kit, and I also needed to put the pump on to get the water out. So it's quite a good mechanic on it. But survivability against something as powerful as that, you weren't going to stand much chance. But you just got to accept it, you know, just what's going to happen. Can't remember what's on this one. This is the little premium one that you get for very little money, really, but I did really want to stress the fact that you can play for free, which is still got 2 torpedoes, so we'll use them. And yeah, you can just tell by the sheer firepower on that one, it's got a much bigger gun than my little pea shooters. But again, having torpedoes, right, so there's planes about, which obviously will oh, that's a good thing. Their torpedoes are marked with red. You can see the speed of them. So some torpedoes are faster than others. Now I know they're around here somewhere. I would like to torpedo something for you. So even if I get wasted, hopefully. Oh, I would have hit him. Now, I can take a chance here and keep shooting at him before my ship blows up, trying to kill him, but I'm going to have to put the fire out. Hiya, Jake. No, Max, not Jackson, no. And hiya, Jessica. Dave, I think because I've chosen to try and give you a sneak peek at what you'd be able to do when you first get the game, whether you choose, but really you've got to concentrate whether you're going down the plane route or you're going to go down tanks or probably boats. You're probably not going to do what I've just done and play all three all at once. It's just too much. I think the thing I wanted you to see is the fact is the game, it's all the same idea in the game. So once you get the basic idea, it's the same no matter what you play. The same kind of controls, the same way you can unlock things and things like that. I knew none of that. Didn't even know, I had no idea. it makes a massive difference unlocking things in the game. It's very, very clever. So I'll just come out of that. Right, hi Andy. Oh yeah, definitely Graham, yeah, we'll catch up with that. Yeah, so sadly Mark's still having trouble, heat trouble, you know, so unfortunately. It's a bit of a shame that, you know. Right, I've just realised what the time is. I can't believe I've been on... Thunderbird. He wants a game. What are you playing, Richard? Are you playing Planes? I can have a quick game in Planes if you want. I'll see what he's playing. We may as well have one battle with Richard. Alright, what's he playing in? Planes, yeah, I've got 3 planes there, mate. You fire it up, mate. That's how we'll have one battle with Richard. Epic. Honestly, you can be very lucky in the game, and yeah, I've played quite a lot, you know. And there's people that, you know, would wipe the floor with myself. So yes, Jezza, you can imagine how well this looks in VR. I've not tried it myself. I think you can see how well it looks in as it is now. You know, that's running 1080, so I've only running it on one screen. There's so much on the screen that you just need to be able to see it. Otherwise, it's point of showing you. So, right, hi, Epic. Yeah. Obviously, you played it as well. Right, probably missed loads of you tonight. Yeah, James, remind you of World of Warships, yeah, and hi, Danny Boy. Yeah, I think with World of Warships, James, as I say, you've got World of Warships, World of Warplanes, and World of Tanks. They're actually 3 separate games where World of Warplanes all rolled into one. Oh, sorry, Richard. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. If I'd known, I would have changed it round. Yeah, that's the whole thing, Graham. Yeah, the only reason I've done it like that is so you can watch it back. It's so hard to follow along with. It's just a lot of mumbo jumbo when you hear someone talking about it. But when you've got the game open and you can stop and start the video, things will come back to your mind and you'll think, right, I see what you're on about. But yeah, just concentrate on, you know, whether it's planes, tanks, and think of a country that you'd like to sort of start with, you know. What's Jesse done? Oh, he's sunburnt. Oh, you sunburnt your legs. Oh, no, that's not good. Alright. Let's go fly out with Richard. Big RT, there he is. Let's fly over and have a look at him. He did well coming on with us. So he's in British Gladiator. Tell you what, they really are good, them biplanes. Yeah, wait, he's got his VR. Where's he gone? Right, I see he's clicked on a different mode. Right, I see what he's done. Jezza controls, I just use mouse and keyboard. A very, very basic default setup. Yeah, what Richard's picked, they introduced this into the game. It was a way that players could play against AI controlled aircraft. So they're not actually versus other players. Richard might not have known that when he clicked on it. So Yeah, they're just AI controlled. They'll be bombers then, so you can get a distance indication under 5 mile. Just try and shoot as many down as you can. That's fun for learning as well, but you don't get as much towards unlocking things. You're much better getting straight into the battles. Where's Richard now? Oh, there he is. So what you'll find is some of the come on, knock something out of the sky. There's Richard. I think we've got them all. So these come in several waves. The faster planes had already got there and destroyed them all, so we'll head off and try and get the next wave. I don't know how many different waves there are in this particular battle mode, but it does become increasingly harder to knock them all down. Verit, I haven't tried Battlefield 5. I mean, it's a different kind of thing, isn't it? You just buy the game and then just play as much as you can. You're not really researching or I don't know what to call this type of game, but yeah, Battlefield 5 looks good, I think, because it's Second World War. But I did try which is Battlefield in First World War. That was quite good. I just find I'm not really quick enough for the multiplayer side of it, you know, player versus player. Just so fast, some people. Hello, Simulator Gaming. Come on. The plane's a little bit slow. Of course, these will fire back at us as well. Good practice, though. It's a good mention. Right, can't do multiplayer Battlefield anymore, mate. Yeah, I know, Graham. It's just, yeah, I know. Tried it. My problem though, just I don't know how people are so quick. Really don't. Hi Jake, yeah, good. I can't believe what time it is. Just gone over so quick, that. So as soon as I finish this, I will show you which bit that is. There's also a tank version as well, so you can get a bit of practice in. Oh, there's 14 waves, is there, Graham? Ah, right. Got ya. Yeah, I couldn't remember. I mean, I haven't played this mode for a long time, but yeah, Jamie, I get you. I mean, one of the reasons I like playing Armoured Warfare is I play player versus the AI controlled stuff. Just because I use War Thunder for player versus player, so some good stuff in Armoured Warfare. All modern stuff. But yeah, I mean, you definitely get shot back well up though, so it's oh, down she goes. Help! Me floppy thing's gone. I love that. The modeling's unbelievable. Yeah, Jamie, as I say, I don't use Armoured Warfare for player versus player. It's just something I don't do. I would rather spend my time in playing in War Thunder, where I'm actually spent most of my time, you know. But it's good for a bit of fun. It's got better over it. I don't think it's got as large a player base as what this has. Right. I think that was the last one, I think. It's done well. I tell you what, I forgot to. I'm really pleased Richie's shown us this button board, because it would be an excellent practice for Mark when he's on with his flight stick. Right, they're 12 mile away. We'll go over there, I think. These planes are so slow. Oh, still 208 mile an hour. It's not bad. Alright, hi Charlie. No, I'm sorry, not until Mark can get his, hopefully, air conditioning in tomorrow. Oh, Matthew, it's not a problem, buddy. Yeah, I mean, Mark's he's finding himself. Just the room's too hot. The stuff he bought just doesn't do the job. So, unfortunately. Pretty sure when he gets his aircon in, he will. Of course, the air conditioner as well, you shut the window, so he's not getting the outside noise either. Right, anyway, I'm going to have to let Richard, I just noticed the time's getting a bit far on. But I'll come back and show Mark that next time.
Attention to the map.
No, not attention to the map, attention to the hangar. Yeah, I mean the GT Omega chair hasn't turned up yet. He was saying so. Now, one of the things you do get for taking part in them once a day, you get a battle trophy. So it is very, very worth doing it every day. I'd completely forgotten about it. So if you did that, start the day, then you get another battle trophy to use, which again is going to help you in your research. So yeah, they're called tank assault and air assault. Yeah, that's what there is. Yeah, I completely forgot about them. Good call, that. Right, sorry about that, Richard. As I say, just to notice the time, and it's getting on a little bit for my wife, so I'm going to cut it there. Talked you all to death, so... Jamie, I don't know. Obviously, Saturday tomorrow, yeah, so hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm on doing probably racing or something with Mark. I'm going to let Mark make up his mind for tomorrow. Get his aircon on and get that sorted first, you know, and then just take it from there, you know, because it's been a few days. He might want to play 5M or something with me. I don't know. So we'll just leave it and let Mark choose, you know. Right, just making sure I've not missed too much there. Sorry, it's been a little bit of a babble for everyone, but it's just one of them where you just can't talk to people about it like that, because it just, whatever you're talking about means nothing. I know, Richard, I didn't realise you'd just gone into that mode, but I'd completely forgotten about that for Mark. So right, everyone, you take care. Fingers crossed for Mark getting the aircon in tomorrow and actually getting cooled down. And I hope, as I say, by the time this video's uploaded, please, you know, if you're interested, download the game, have a look at it, and remember, it's free to play. You don't have to spend a penny on it unless you want to. See you, everybody. Bye now.